What's up, everybody? This is Simranpreet Sani with Century 21, your local real estate agent. And today I'll be talking about some of the very interesting market trends that I've been seeing here in Salt Lake County and what that could mean if you're looking to buy or sell a house in the next few months. I'll be going over a few of the cases up here on the board, so it's important that you watch the whole video because I'll be saying some stuff over voice that won't make it onto the board just to save some time. And so without further ado, let's get started. So taking a look at the data all the way back from November of 2018 all the way up to December of 2020, we have seen a gradual increase in home prices. And if we draw a trend line across this data, we see that home prices have been increasing by about $3,500 a month over that time period. However, if we take a look at just this first 6 months of 2021, we have seen massive amounts of growth for the sold price of single-family homes in Salt Lake County. If you draw a regression line for this data, you see that month over month, prices have been increasing by $20,500. That's why homeowners have experienced such a huge gain in equity within the last year, about $100,000 worth. Now, the third interesting point that is worth discussing is that since June of this year, prices appear to have flatlined at about $550,000. Now, does that mean that prices will now start to decrease in the future, or will they again start to increase? Well, we still can't predict the future reliably, of course. But what it appears to be is that the price has met an equilibrium with the current buyers in the market that are willing to pay for the homes. Now I'll run you guys through some possible cases up on the board on what it would look like if you were to buy a house today using the current data that we have at today's mortgage rates, and what it would be like if you were to wait a few months and buy later down the road. I'll be going over cases where the home prices have increased, stayed the same, or decreased in the future, as well as if the mortgage rates have stayed the same or increased. I'm not going to include if the mortgage rates have decreased because it's pretty unlikely that they will decrease any further than they already have, and so I'll leave those out. But everything else will give you a pretty good idea about what the difference in your monthly mortgage payments and everything will be like if you were to buy now versus in the future. So using today's average going price for a house of $550K, and the interest rate is around 2.8%, and the down payment for a conventional 30-year fixed is usually 20%, and that gives you a down payment of $110K, leaving the mortgage amount that is left over to be paid by the bank is $440K. And then, of course, your monthly payment, you can use any Google calculator for your mortgage rates or your monthly mortgage payment, whatever you're comfortable with, and that number comes out to be about $1,808 per month. So now let's look at the case where in the future the home prices have lowered and the interest rate has stayed the same. So let's say that in the future the prices have lowered by 100 grand, coming back down to $450K, and the interest rate has stayed the same at 2.8%, and we still keep our 20% down payment, and so that results in a down payment of $90K, leaving you with the amount to be financed as $360K. And so now that comes out to be a mortgage payment of about $1,479. Now let's consider a higher rate but at the lower price. And so you have the same price. Let's say that in the future the interest rate has increased by a point. The down payment is still the same. The amount left to finance still the same. But the mortgage payment is now about $1,677. So looking at the numbers here, you can see that if the purchase prices do lower in the future, you can save about $20,000 in your down payment. Of course, depending on how much your down payment percentage was and what loan you get. And also your monthly payment, you can save about a little less than $400 per month in your monthly payments, again subject to whatever loan that you end up getting. But of course this is less likely of the two. because the purchase price and the interest rates share an inverse relationship, tend to share an inverse relationship, meaning when the prices of homes go up, the interest rates are usually lower, and when the interest rates go up, the purchase price usually tends to go lower. And so even with the more likely of the two cases, you're still saving that 20K, and you save about a little less than $200 on your monthly payments. Considering if in the future you have the same price and the same rate, of course the numbers would stay the same. 550K purchase price, 2.8% interest rate, 20% down payment gives you a down payment amount of 110K, and the amount left to finance is 440, giving you the same mortgage payment as what we have today. But if the mortgage rates go higher and the prices stay the same at 550, and the interest rate again increases by a point to 3.8%, keeping your 20% down payment, it will still be 110K, leaving you with the amount to be financed for 440. And in that scenario, your mortgage payment would come out to be $20.50. So obviously, if the same price and at the same rate, you'll get the same numbers as we have today. But of course, with a higher mortgage rate, you're going to end up paying more in your monthly payments if you bought a house later and the interest rates increased by about a little more than a $200 difference in your monthly payments. So that is something to consider if you are waiting to buy in the future, if you want to gamble the prices staying the same and the interest rates rising. And now, of course, the last case to consider is if the prices of homes go higher in the future, what will the numbers look like then? Well, for the same rate, let's say that the purchase price has increased by another $100,000 by this time next year, and the interest rates stay the same. You still put your 20% down. That results in a down payment of 130K, which leaves a mortgage amount left to finance as 520K, and that results in a monthly mortgage payment of $21.37. Now, if you have your higher rate at this same increased price of 650K, again it increases by a point. With your 20% down, that still gives you 130K down payment, still leaving 520K to be financed. However, now your monthly payment is going to come out to $24.23. So looking at this data with the higher price of the houses, you can see that obviously the down payment is affected. Now you're spending an extra 20K instead of saving it if the prices go up. And of course, in your the mortgage payments have also gone up. Of course, this is the most extreme case out of all the cases we've seen, where you would be paying a little over $600 more per month compared to today. And of course, even in this case, you would still be ending up paying a little over $300 per month if mortgage rates stay the same and the purchase price increases. And so here is a table of all the scenarios that we went through. Feel free to pause the video and take a picture with your phone or screenshot it or however you want to do it. And just use this information as a reference point. Of course, this is not end all be all for all the prices and interest rates and mortgage payments. I'm not a licensed mortgage professional, so this is only for educational purposes, of course. If you want the most accurate numbers, of course, contact your mortgage lender, and they'll be happy to run you through your options there. All right, hope you guys found that information useful. Hopefully the table put in perspective some of the important numbers that you should consider when making your decision. I know that some of the The scenarios were a little tough to swallow, but everyone's financial situation is different, and there's many more factors that go into making that decision. So it's important to analyze all the factors in your life to make the appropriate decision. But I will be going over and making a video on a few of the options that you can implement to put yourself in a better position to buy a house, either now or later, both if you own a house now or if you're renting. But as for now, if you have any questions on the information that I showed you guys today, or if you have any questions in general about real estate, be sure to reach out. I look forward to talking to you, okay? See ya.